Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, so for this episode, I'm going to touch on renting versus owning. Yeah, and I'm about to fuck y'all up because everybody' goal is to own this and own that and live a happy ass life. Well, let me give you my style of how I live. I like to rent. Yeah, that's me. Cars, houses. Yeah, I like to rent because I like to switch up every so often. I like to have a different car every 3, 4 months. I like to have a new home within the next year or two. I don't want to buy a house and live there for the next 30 years. My parents did that shit, you know, and that just wasn't my style. We lived in the same house from the time I was 5 years old all the way up until I was a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't my thing. That ain't what I like. It's so many houses out here. It's so many. You know what I'm saying? Bigger houses, smaller houses, wider, this, that, square feet. You know, it's so much shit out here. And you secluding yourself to one piece of property because you just want to own. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying anything wrong with owning property and investing and flipping and things like that. That's the goal. What I'm getting at is for you. And again, this might not be for everybody, but I'm speaking to the people that feel the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't feel how I feel, just listen to me. Maybe you might say, "Hey, I feel you on that." So, um, yeah, I like to rent, and it definitely costs a lot more. So for the people that be trying to shame people about renting, like we pay way more than you people that own or mortgage or lease and things like that. We pay way more than y'all. So don't ever try and come at a person that rent because we spend way more money. And yeah, it might not be our property and all of that, but that's the same thing with your property. Your property ain't your property. Yeah, look at the deed to the house you own. Look at the deed. What it say on there? Whatever state you in, it has the state on top of your deed. The car you own. Look at the title. It has the state that you bought it from. That's who owned it, not you. You co-own. You have it for right now. But if the state wanted that property, they can come take that shit from you right now. See, we don't own nothing. We renting everything. It's just that you get that title of owning it, but you really renting it. Because guess what? On that house that you own, if you don't pay them property taxes, what they can do? They gonna take that shit from you. You done bought this house, you done built it from the ground up, you done did all this plumbing, electricity, installing, you done did everything to this house. You keep up the landscaping on it, the maintenance, you do everything. You pay the utilities, you make sure everything up to date, you do all that. But you don't pay your property tax. And guess what them people do? They come take your house from you. After all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into that house, they come take it from you because you ain't paid your property taxes. Because it's not yours. Same thing with a car. You can own it all the fuck you want, right? But park you somewhere illegally. They towing that bitch. And you gotta fight them to get it back. And if they really want to keep your shit, they can. It ain't nothing you could do about it, honestly. But that's a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? We don't own nothing. Nothing. This shit here is landmark. Everything. You know why we don't own anything? Because we're not here to stay. That's why we don't own it. If we was meant to own things, when we die, whoever come behind it will own that too. To where they don't got to pay for it or none of it, because you done already paid the dues. You done already took care of all that shit. But that ain't how it go. When you die, you go to the next person. The next person got to pay for that. Because that's the way how the world's set up. We don't own nothing. It's just renting is another form of renting as opposed to owning. What the actual renting side of it is letting it be known that, hey, yeah, this ain't your property. You only gonna have it for so long, and then on to the next. But when you own this shit, they tell you, yeah, that's yours. You can have it. As soon as you die or go to jail or don't pay your property taxes, they take that shit from you. Take it how you feel. But that's the truth of the matter. We don't own none of this shit. None of it. This is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Life is temporary. This property, everything here is all this shit is temporary. So, for my temporary time of being here, I prefer to rent. No strings attached. Let me have the property for so long, then cool, I'm moving on to the next. I don't want to be in a Corvette for the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I want that Corvette for about a year, and then I'm about to jump in a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. So yeah, I'd rather rent it. It's gonna cost more, but at least I know I can get that motherfucker back when I'm ready. I don't gotta keep it for a 5-year lease and all of that shit, and I only could put 30,000 miles on it and all that bullshit. When I rent, I can put as many miles on it as I want, and I can give it back whenever I'm ready. I could say, you know what, I don't like the color of this vet no more. I don't. This vet I got is red. I don't like a red vet no more. I want a blue one. I can take that bitch back, get another one. And that's any car. When you leasing some shit, you can't paint it or take it back or none of that shit. You gotta ride that motherfucker just how it is. You only can put so many miles on it. But they give you this illusion that it's yours and all of that. That shit ain't yours. It's rented too. Cause guess what? You miss a car payment, they come repo that bitch. Yeah. So ain't nothing ours. It's just a temporary title. So again, with me saying I'd rather rent, it's just the whole fact that I'm aware of how the world works. And instead of me playing the game with them, I play against them. Cool. Keep your property. I'ma just go ahead and do my thing and give it right back to you. I'm not about to sit up here and make an agreement with you and act like it's mine when I know it ain't. Cause you gonna be here to take it at any given moment. So let me have my fun out of it. Let me do my due, and you can have this shit back. I'm gonna move on to the next piece of property. Cause guess what? We only here for a good time, not a long time, baby. Wake up, my people. If we don't wake up now, we ain't gonna never wake up. And if we don't wake up now, by the time you do wake up, it's gonna be too late. You might as well go back to sleep. This the real, and I only can give it to you the real way. Roll up a pole up, baby. Get it how you live.